Grub is nothing but a kernel, and we need, because of the security reasons and all that, upgrades is coming up. So you need to change the grub here. So when we interrupt this one, the one we are getting here like 2.6.32, all this is a grub. Okay, so every so often a new version comes out, and like any other Windows or anything, when something new comes out, you have to update it, right? Let me just let it go in the default mode. And then that file grub.conf is located in, it is located in etc grub.conf. This is also a part of a boot process, part of a system initialization. Okay. Okay. So we did talk about this here, right? System initialization boot process. So at one point, it goes through and reads the grub. Okay, first stage passes control to the second stage of bootloader, which resides in boot partition. Second stage of bootloader initializes the. Okay, so kernel is a boot. This is what the kernel is actually. The grub is actually nothing but a kernel here. It says kernel, and then kernel actual. So let me connect. Oh, it's taking forever. Okay, when you type uname hyphen, it's giving you the information here. Okay, information is also in cat etc grub.conf. This is a grub configuration file here. So let's try to upgrade it. So let's see. We have, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on to Google. download the new version. Okay, RPM. So is it downloaded this latest version? And let me see if we could use this. Enable. It's not working. So let's try this here. Yum update kernel. Okay. So and
A bit late. Why we are updating the kernel?
update it every so often. Yeah, I mean, in Linux, the beauty is you could even update the kernel. You are updating actually the seed. And Sometimes it's called Linux is called Linux. It's so secure.
Okay. I thought you were trying to get to from 6 to 7. That's why you were doing.
Uh, no, within 6 and 7. Let's see if it's going to work here because we may be already on the latest version. So it says updating kernel, calling kernel 7.4 kernel. We'll see how it goes.
You know what, Zafar? In 6.9, there is only a grub. In 7, there is the grub 2,
Yeah, grub2.conf.
right?
It's a little different here. We'll take a look too.
I think option of upgrading 6 to 7, it should be clean install.
Yeah, you have to do clean install. 6.0, and then you could go from whatever that releases. If there is 6.1 to you could keep it all the way up until 9. After 9, I think it's going on to 7. See here, because you never know, you do uname A. So the so what I'm going to do is cat etc grub.conf. Sometimes it's harder to read. Default grub we have is 0 here. Okay. How many grubs we got here? You see any difference here? Okay, yeah. See this here, this number is different. This number here. Right now, when we do uname -a, uname -a, this number is active here. This is the old one. See, this is old, and this is active, and this is the new one here. So okay, so it did install new one here. But what will happen? At a moment, only one will be active. Before I updated it, this was saying 6.96. Okay, 6.96 is active, right? Yeah. Grub config file before we did the kernel update. There is only one grub listed in here. Only one grub listed here. You see kernel. There's no other kernel line in here. Okay, so let's see what are the next steps here. I go to boot grub.conf. It's the same file here. You name -a. Okay, this is what we did here. So let me start documenting first. Okay, so what you got to do is, very first step, you have to do uname -a. Okay, so this is what we are updating this grub. It's considered as a part of a security updates. This is what you're doing is doing update, right? So it is a part of a security update. There are other updates that will be up. This will be one of the main important ones, because if you do this, the server may not boot correctly. Okay, so you did uname -a, and this is the output you got, right? This is the output, and what we are looking here is we are looking to update this here. This thing should change. All right, so let's see here. That will change. What we did next after that is, in this scenario, we just simply went on to the internet and downloading it. Most of the time, you don't do that. Most of the time, there is a patching team that you work with, and they are the one who is doing this for you. Okay, you did that, and it went through all these things here. And what I'm gonna do is cat tc grub dot. Hold on. For this here, what we did is cat /etc dot grub dot conf. Okay. Uh, Okay, so if you take a look carefully in this output, only one line is there. Grub and all this I'm going to highlight here. So this one here is, no, hold on. Look at this. This one matches what we already have here. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this. Now we doing the update. Okay, so the update went through. And when we do clear, you name A. When you do uname -a, this is still the default one. So the installation was completed, but it's not active yet. Cat etc grub.conf. So if you look in this output, see has it has a second grub in there. File is already installed here, but it's not active. You see the difference here, right? This is the active one. You also have the new one here is called, we are going from 7.54 to oh, okay, sorry, this is the new one. This is the new one, so I'm going to change it to color. This is the new one which got installed, and this is the old one, yellow. So the old one number is 0 here, and the new one number is 1. Okay, so when you updating here throughout the course of the life cycle of the operating system, this will stay 0, this will become 1, and then the new one that comes up in here will become 2. So based on that, you will set it as a default here. So at this moment, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to just restart the system. So I'm going to keep this here 6.9, do a restart. What is the command to restart the system, somebody? Right? don't know why it's taking so long. So finally it came up. I wasn't paying attention. Did somebody saw that it gave a two options to reboot? I think it showed us two options here. I'm gonna have to restart one more time. Okay, here. Okay. Now we have two options here. It's booting up with the latest one. One is already selected. Okay, so go ahead and go with the latest one here and see what happens. You guys remember, right? When we booted earlier, it was only one option here. Now we have two options here. Grub. You could boot with the old version and you could boot with the new version. I'm not even sure why it's so slow. So looks like when you do uname -a, the grub is now automatically updated here. So the previous version was 696, and then the new version is 754. So let's go to cat etc grub.conf, and the default is set to 0. Maybe I'm wrong here. So what will happen is it will go down the line here. So when this was updated, it will take itself as 0, and then the previous one which was set to 0, it will become 1. Let's see here. Okay, so we did uname -r, and it will give you the latest default version. And let's take a look if it's same for 7. Is here root uname -r. This is the latest version here, right? So okay, so let me connect 192.168.56.111. Have uname -r. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this is the grub version, and I think the grub file in here is somewhere else. Let's see. Okay, so this is a little bit different here. So it's telling us to add a repository. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, and let's see ls here. Yum repo list. Okay, so okay, I think everybody on this call today, they are ready for the job. So side chat me, and then I'm going to set up one-on-one, and then I'm getting 2 or 3 calls every week. Okay, and then this is the new trend here. Before the end of the year, what most employers hiring people so that they are ready for the new year. Okay, the budget is coming in at the end of the year, and then usually they used to do the hiring. They will start hiring like first quarter of the, but what the new trend is, they're hiring the last quarter of the year, so that the start of the year, all the new projects in place, and then you could, and then they have enough headcount to work on new projects. So I know Amir, Ijaz, Mazhar, you all are ready. Yeah, Mohammed is ready too. And Shakil, Sarah, and the other two girls. I have about 7 people who are really ready. So this time around, we're gonna have your resume ready, and then I'll help you upload it on the portal and start the marketing. Okay? Any questions?
And how many positions are there, Joseph?
Thousands.
There are 7 people already.
For you, it's gonna be only one. If you get lucky, I will encourage you all to get like try to get one from remote and then one on site, and it's possible. Happening here is day in and day out, everything is going into cloud, right? And then to have everything which is going to be going into cloud, the easiest solution would be to install Linux and start the development on it. Okay, so
But a quick question: that start development on Linux, what does it really mean? Isn't application development, right? It's something else.
yeah, if somebody want to like a startup company here, not even a startup company, just you have iCloud, right?
Yeah.
iCloud, the size of the iCloud keep getting bigger, right?
Yep.
What they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to keep adding more Linux boxes. The more you add, the more jobs are there. So the sizes keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because
My question was around our role as a Linux administrator. Whatever we learned, uh, say that start development in Linux. Is it something you're asking us that we should expand upon? And if it is true,
no. What I'm saying is, the companies would have budget, and if they want to expand on the existing project, they have to add Linux boxes, right? So that's when. So if there are like thousands of servers and you're getting like a couple hundred tickets, if you add more servers, you get more tickets, right? There are some problems updating, patching, maintaining, adding user Linux boxes and all those. So the base is expanding, so are the jobs are expanding. Does that answer your question, or you're looking for something?
yeah. So development is not for us. Basically, we are supporting.
No. I didn't train you for development. I'm not even a developer myself either. I mean, development is like kind of crazy. What it goes on top of the Linux operating system. So we all are base, and then that's all the other people are dependent on us.
Okay. Development is basically the legacy development in Java, Python, Docker, and whatnot, basically. Okay.
Yeah, once you install operating system, you could do whatever they want to do, right? For example, they have a Linux. All they want to do is have a website, so they just enable HTTPD and Tomcat, and then have it there. The thing is, there is a separation of roles here. So, organization, the development people, they don't have access to root, and I mean, you could have so much on your plate, right? Either you could be doing administration, or you could be doing development, or anything like that. If you have like 10 or 12 servers, you could do everything. If you're talking about thousands of servers, then it's going to get complex and you won't be able to do everything everywhere. Like I said, explained last time, if you are like a expert in network, you say example, you have um, network certification, Linux certification, Windows certification. So you have 3 certifications, and you are expert in all 3 here, right? So if the environment is small, like 20 or 40 or 50 boxes, you should be able to manage that one person. But when it's thousands, then one person going in one place, other place, all this is going to be a big mess. So we will end up doing only one thing here, and it's a lot of work. You will be very, very busy, because you will, in your own queue, you will have like 40 or 50 tickets to work on every day. Well, not every day, but you will have those many tickets to work on. And then you come in every day, work on some, and then tickets, close some tickets, update some tickets. And that's what is going to happen. But it's in very high demand. Yeah, I just put my resume up last Wednesday. Then I'm getting calls already. There are a couple local companies trying to take interview for me. So we'll see how it goes. And I'll show you all the tricks how to around the system. You know how if you upload the resume, and then I will show you how all the tricks to keep getting calls. Sometimes what happens is when you update the resume, and after 3-4 weeks, it gets stale. It goes on the bottom of the search. So I'll show you how to trick the system so that it keeps up on top of the search. Let me see.
Okay, Zafar bhai, I'll reach out to you. Um,
I want everybody to reach out to me this week.
are you here in Chicago, Zafar bhai?
No,
It's long weekend. Come and you didn't come.
no, actually, I'm moving locally here, so different rooms, so I just can't do it.
Okay.
Okay, here I just uploaded my resume just last week. Not even last week. Can you see the screen?
31 total reviews.
Yeah, see, I'm on Career Builder, and I think I did it on Wednesday here, right? Uh, when was that Wednesday? Here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did on Wednesday, 28. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and 31 people saw it, and it's showing up into 24 results, searches. And then you'll see who viewed this here. See, you could see like this person, they saw it 3 times. And all these groups here, Farmers, Shen Agency, Exelon.
That we are not seeing now. We are just seeing same 31, amber color 31, green color 24, total searchers.
And then, you know, this thing, this company called me, and this is full-time hire. Not with this company, they are just delegating to hire with one other place. And this is only this year, so let's see what's on the monster.
Zafar bhai, the screen is not moving. It's just passed.
Is it moving now?
Nope.
Oh. Is it moving now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on. And what was the last one we did? Yum enable. Okay, and then I'm going to do this yum repo list all. Okay, and then what is going to, we have already installed new kernel to the system. Now I will show you how to configure the default version to load when the system is starting. Okay, so let's take a look here deeper here. So uname -r. Okay, so 514 is the one we are using it right now. Okay, and what is this gonna? Okay, let's see here. This is like a command here. It's filtering it out. Okay, so okay. So right now, this is the latest version, 3, and then the 5 is the latest one. So once we set it as a default, this will become, when we do uname -r, after it reboots, this will be the default. So this is the latest version. So latest version is helping itself to number 0. And then the previous version becomes 1, and then the one before that becomes 2. I don't even know what this is. This says rescue here. So now this one is setting up to as a default here. So what we could do is see here, we could go to VI, and then we'll see where is the default one set. Default. Oh, okay. Maybe it's in this file here. Mm, no, the default is sent in this one. I'm gonna scroll down. If you see default equals 0, let me see. I could take 2 people today, okay? Mazhar, Amir, whoever is ready. If you want to do, I have some time today, and I could take 2 people.
Okay,
We'll just
I'm free.
get this done, and then for next week you will be ready here. So let's run this command here. It will set to 0 here, right? We saw this one here. This one default is set to 0 here. Before that, let me restart it, and just for the fun. And this one should also show us the list of more than one grub list here. Okay, see, now you could see here that by default number 3 is already set here because it's in the system is already 0. And if I select this, the new grub will take effect, kernel I mean, but you still have to make it a default one. Okay, so let me just let it run. And then when we're going to set it to default 0, then the new one should be set as default. Okay, so let's see, reboot. Uh, okay, so let me run uname -r. Okay, still set to 3 here. So Okay. Now, what is this? Next, to generate the grub2.conf with mk2 grub command, then a reboot server. Okay, so let's do this here. And then I'm going to reboot. The command reboot works in 7, not in 6. Okay, now we should see the very first one be set as a default. There you go. It's taking the very first one as a default, okay? All right, that's it. You have already updated grub in. I keep saying grub, but you updated the kernel in here for 7.
Is grub, kernel are interchangeable words?
Grub is just the menu that's coming up. And then it has 3, in this case, it has 3 options. One is like a default rescue one, and 0 and 1 is the one which is going to be the default. Let's do R. Okay. Now you see uname-r successfully updated the kernel. Okay, so we are done with that here. So what I'm gonna do is I have some. These are my day in and day out troubleshooting tips and tricks which I'm using which I'm using like every day. So this is what I'm sharing with you. And you could keep this as a very good resource here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just name it troubleshooting here, separate section. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over all this here. So very first one is ls-ltrh. So whenever you get this machine here, you should be having a practice to do this. ls-ltrh means ls long list timed stamp r h. H stands for human readable. So if you don't have h here, sometimes you may not. Sometimes this information here, it would be hard for you to read it. Okay, so right here it says like kilobytes here, right? 1.3 kilobytes. If you do without h, it's giving you 16. So it will help you. It's a switch for human readable, okay? And then when you do df-h, no, I'm sorry, free-h, what it does is sometimes you will get a ticket that says this is all used up, okay? So what you're gonna do is you will get a request to clear the swap, okay? So what you do is you just copy this command here. You're turning the swap off and swap on. And when you hit enter, or you could just do this here, swap off -a, and then swap on -a. Okay, when you do swap off, you do free-h. See, swap is off. There is no more swap available. So what you're going to do is swap it on. When you do this, the swap on. Okay, now if you do free-h, okay, so the swap is back here. At the same time, it will flush out the swap. Okay, and then what is du? So we'll see here this du-ax. Okay. So when you do du is a disk usage command, and you have all these files in here. It will tell you the size of the file here. Okay, size of this directory is this much, and then the size of each file is 4K. Okay, du-axh. Let me add h here and see if it's going to work. Okay, so I add h here and it will tell you the size of the file. So I type dot here, so it's going to tell you in the present directory. But if you want to see what's in the root directory, slash root. Okay, so it will go through all these files here and it will tell you what is the size of the each file. Okay.
When you say sort, does it sort on size or name?
It is sorting by the size.
Okay.
Right here, right? 4K. Let's see here. Yeah, it is sorting by the size here. I don't know. I just use it. Just use your just use however you want here. Okay, so let me type flush.
It's sorting by alphabetically.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. And then disk size. And then rsync is let me go to cd pwd, let me do ls. So these are some files in here, right, in this folder here. So what I'm going to do is okay, I'm going to create a directory mkdir hyphen p Illinois Chicago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rsync command here. So I'm going to create another directory called mkdir uh, mkdir Iowa. So what I'm going to do, sync command, what will happen is it will sync the same directory in here. Okay, so here's the command. Sometimes there are directories, there are thousands of directories in there, right? What will happen is it will you will get a request to map these directories or create new directories using the source directory. So we'll see how it goes. What is the source for Illinois is /root/Illinois rsync. Okay, so you need to install rsync. Yum. All right, let's run that command again. Error code. Mm, okay, it's not working here, but that is something you could research on your own and when you're doing it. So now the next command is lspci -v. Okay, so it will show you all the Ethernet ports in here. Okay, uh, then you're grepping for Ether. LSPCI. So what is happening here is when you use the LSPCI command, it's looking for all the PCI ports. So this is Intel, Bridge, memory, VGA, memory, bus. So it's a USB controller. So what it's looking for is a PCI controllers, okay? All right, so this one ETH0, it probably won't run on 7. So let's see if we could run on 6. Is it SBIN? So I'm running on ETH0, so let me run it on ETH2, right? Okay, ETH0 is not there, so I'm going to run an ETH4. So when you run this command, it will detail information here about that specific port, what is going on here. So this is information. If you're troubleshooting it, then you could get some more information here and then talk to your team members regarding this. Okay, here's another command here. So this is a du command that we saw earlier. So this particular command is looking for top 10 files that are being used in the root. No such file or directory. Okay, so it's using du, and then this has to be only one hyphen hyphen max. So you're searching the root directory for the disk space, and then maximum depth you're going is 3. And then you sorting out with human readable, and then you checking for top 10. Du hyphen h. Let's do h here. Okay, let me remove ax. What? What was the previous command here? Cannot access axh. Okay, here it kind of worked here. So let me run the original one. HAX. Okay, there shouldn't be any space in here. Hyphen hyphen max. Okay, and so you got this information here. It will give you top 10 trees which are being used disk space. Okay. All right. So let me just quit that here. Let's see what this find is doing here. So what you could do is you could use these switches based on what you're looking for. But this is a good old find command and filters in here, okay? And last log, it will see last log. Let's see what happens there. So what it is last log, it will see who logged in the last time on this system here. So it says never logged in, all these users never logged in. When is the root? Here it says root logged in today. And all these other users have not logged in so far. So SU Zafar 1. Okay. Okay, now you should oh, never logged in.
What do we need to use a subsidiary user, SU user for one or SU user ABC?
Yeah.
That's it.
I think yeah. Let me see. Let me try the login directly as Zafar one and see if it's going to log.
My question was basically real. Maybe after this, I like to know that how a user is permission to substitute user to some other user.
SU,
Yeah.
you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Like you and I, let's say we are working in the same team, and you can run SU Amir, I cannot. So where it is configured that you can and I cannot.
Only you could do it. Only root could do it.
So if we both are not root, we both are app developers, and if you are authorized to do SU Amir, I am not, but you can run few commands which are only Amir authorized to. I cannot.
Usually those are like application command here. Sudo.
Question was how someone is authorized to use SU on another profile.
So usually what happen is you get own ID.
Yeah.
When you do SU user, you have to put in the password here actually. You have to
Your password basically.
know that user password.
Mm,
If I'm doing SU Zafar, SU Amir, okay, then I have to put the if you're using if you're switching from a user to another user, but if you're using if you're switching from SU sudo SU hyphen, if you're using if you're switching from a regular user to root, then you put in your own password.
okay.
If you because you're a sudo user. But if you're using if you're switching from Zafar to Amir, then you have to put in the Amir password.
Okay. At job, I ran into person, and everybody is using his login and ID to log in to assume a system profile.
Is that a user or is it an application ID?
No, that's a application ID.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it. So application ID is set into the wheel group. Uh, it sets all the are set into the wheel group.
That application ID is basically it's a group as well as it's a ID, and it owns the files
Yes.
group level and at individual.
So when you do user mod ag hyphen wheel, and then you give the grant sudo access to a regular user. In this case, regular user is also a application ID.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, what is application ID? Nothing but another user, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is user mod -g wheel. Now the user has a sudo access. Uh, okay, hold on. This is really good. Came up here. Sudo super user do super user root. Uh,
Elaborate if you want, basically what exactly what the real time.
I know because the application ID you're using is a group ID.
Yeah.
You have like 3 or 4 people and they all use the same exact ID too on the application ID, right?
Among 3-4 people, only one person knows that, and one only with his profile, they run a command, and then that person will assume that application ID.
Everybody is using that person's ID.
Yeah, he has shared his user ID password. So in order to do
No,
that,
I mean that
everybody
he
is
shared.
logging using his password and his ID, and then run a command and they assume that application ID, which is not true. I asked him that he said I don't know. 1 year before when I joined, they set me like that, and I don't know how they set me.
No, I
Same
mean
is Linux team.
that I told you start of the class never use the share the password here because he's sharing his password, and you if they are using a ITIL practice, they will. The audit is going on so often here, so I mean what you're doing is not a best practice there.
And
Normally,
this team is not Linux team, but for the middleware team basically, so they don't have any root, etc.
no. So what you should be having is all your team members should be able to switch to that application ID directly.
He doesn't know that how it
Yeah,
had happened.
because he didn't open a proper request here. I mean, one person is there, other people join. He's basically sharing his password. He's not supposed to.
Yeah, he's not supposed to agree with.
So in your team, Mazhar, and then there is one more person called Ramesh,
Yeah.
and Ramesh is using his giving out his password here. But you could change to Ramesh and then not change to application ID and continue on using his ID. And if you do something bad, he's gonna get in trouble. Yeah. So I mean, right now, what is happening is you just people that are there, they're just sharing the username and password. So that happens here. So that's why the regular users IDs is all. I mean, everybody's ID is audited so often.
Yep. So my question was here: if in order to ask this question to Linux team, what should I ask them that how he was set up? So I want everyone else should be set up in the same way. So instead of using his ID, everybody else can run the
Usually, you
command.
have to follow the internal process. You have to open a service request, and it goes to your manager for approval, and another manager for approval, and then it goes to the Linux manager approval, and goes to the Linux team, and to grant access.
What access I should tell Linux team? But I don't know even the question that what should raise to approval is a
Just
separate thing.
can you map your ID to that person ID? Example Ramesh give open a request and say please map my request ID similar to Ramesh.
Okay.
So they're gonna check Ramesh credentials and your credentials and add it to the group or whatever it takes.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I could tell you are job ready right away. You are ready for the job. Okay, so where were we? So let me exit, and then let me do last log, and it has the login information that that person has logged. indirectly, I think. There is also a command called last, and it will tell you who logged in last. What I normally do is I do last and then see who logged in, and then I switch. Then what I do is I could go into that person's profile here, right? cd/root/Zafar1. No, cd/home/Zafar1. And then if I do ls, there is nothing in there. Then if I do ls-la, there is a .bash history in there. So if I cat it and if I run this, you will see all the commands he has run, Zafar. So the latest command he did was he switched to Amir. That way you could see that if the user is running any errors or anything like that, runs one error, they find it off the internet and run it, and it's not happening. So what you will do is you will have to go in there and see what that user is actually doing. Most of the time you tell the user the output of the result. Okay, if they're typing something wrong, then it's hard for the user to explain what is going on. So you could go in here and do verify yourself, or at the same time what you could do is you could tell them to give the output of the screen they have getting it. Okay, so these are all a lot of commands in here, you know. I mean, I would highly recommend to test all this on your own. DMI decode is I think it has to do with the memory. So you know, this Word document is not perfect here because it's trying to do autocorrect here and make it capitalized here. I'll see if I could put out a text file here so that the commands doesn't change. See, right here, like if I copy this command here and put it in text document here, you know, the text document won't try to do autocorrect, unlike Word document here. Okay, so, and there is another command here. Okay, so you run DMI decode here. This is a kernel level messages here. -t memory. SM BIOS 2.5%. Displays dim size. So what is happening here is this command you run it on a physical hardware, not on a virtual box. So if it was a physical hardware, it will give you some output. Okay. Okay. Then if you want to see the error messages, you have to do a cat. No. This this what happens here is you this file here, var log messages, it contains all the messages, any messages that is going on. Is so today looks like today it has compiled so many messages here. So it wrote one message here regarding network. It wrote some other messages here. It will have a lot of other messages here. If the system is having any problems, anything like that, it will have those messages in here. So what you could do is you could go to CD. So what will happen is df-h, you will see a lot of other folders in here like a slash var. When you see a slash var, normally slash var is a folder that is being monitored here. And it has its own size here. If the size of the slash var is very big, what you normally do is you come into this folder here and then look for the size of the message file here. Where is this? Okay, so this is the message file here. What it's happening is it will automatically, after June 23rd. So these are the archives of the messages here. So it archived itself on June 23rd, then it did on July 27th, and it did on July 28th, and then it did on August 25th. What is it doing? It's automatically archiving itself here. But sometimes what you have to do is the size, you will have this here like 100, 200 of this. So you could go in there and then try to delete the previous ones, the ones which are very, very old, like a year old or something. So make sure you take approval from application team or somebody, delete those files here. So these are like a basic troubleshooting here. Or sometimes the size of the messages files itself is big. So when you run this command here, it will clear it out. It will clear it out and okay, so let's see what is the size of the message file here. Uh, okay, so on August 31st, I reset the size of the file. So it's 0 kilobytes now because when I ran this command, when I echoing out, it's like resizing the size of the message files here. Message for file, yeah. Okay. So this is like for command here. If you want to create like multiple files in the specific folders, you could run this. Let me create bunch of files in here for X in, and then I'm done. I'm creating a folder in here. F1. No. Oh, actually, what it's doing is it's so this command is actually checking the size of the file in here. So this is a very good command. You should keep it handy. But here's the thing, and no matter how much I showed you, you still have to, utilize all this here at the moment, and then see how those things are going to work here. So here's an example of TCP dump. I think I used it at my work, and port TCP dump port 22. Let's do port 22. What is the SSH port? 22, right?
22.
Yeah.
We dump install on this system?
No, very good. I think it is. Didn't we work last time? Yeah. TCP dump. It's writing. It says USB link layer type filtering not implemented. All right. So instead of that, could run the next command here. ETH4. So it is listening on ETH4 right now. Okay. And then you could just do Control C and you do ls. So the file name .pcap is there. So next command is there is also some trace route. You could do the trace route and IP address is, let's see if we could do this for the other server here. Name, so which trace route? Yeah, it's there. Okay, yeah, it's working. So what it did here is it's telling this is information you can don't worry about too much because this is a networking team here, but it's how you could check how the system is hopping from one place to another place to connect. So honestly, I don't use it as much, but this is something you have one of my troubleshooting files here. So let's see last hyphen W. So it will show you the same thing as who logged in and all that, the activity. Okay, so now this one here is cat etc cron allow. You will see here that who has access to run the cron jobs.
What is cron job, Zafar bhai?
Yeah, you got me, man. I think I forgot to show you all that here.
Schedule jobs.
Yeah, you could create a cron. You could schedule a job. Like if you want to shut down a system, you could schedule something there. Okay, let's see if I could cover that today. Cron tab. Uh, Cron tab hyphen E. Okay, yeah, actually, But I'll cover this tomorrow here. I'll cover this first 15 minutes tomorrow. We, we could run. I'll demo you how this cron tab works here. And this is a command IPM-QA and see how many kernels are installed here. Oh, it's giving error, man. RPM-QA. Let's see QF. Okay, so what it did was it went in there and searched for the. So this part is like grepping, you're filtering it, but QA is looking for how many RPMs are installed here. Okay, so there are 1100 RPMs installed on this system. These are IPMI tools here. I don't think we could see this here. Let's see if we could run this command here. This is usually you could run this on the physical hardware, and this is for HP. So the kill command, you use the kill command to kill the some kind of operation here. So let's see. VI. So I have this VI open. Okay, then I'm going to open another file here, another session, and then I'm going to log in as root. And then I do ps-ef command. Processes are running. So then let me do grep for Zafar. So I see this process here. So this process is being run here. So what I want to do is I want to kill that process. So how am I going to do that? Let's see, kill command, kill hyphen. Kill -9, and then I'm going to give the process ID. Okay, so this is the process ID. Let's see if he's going to do that. Okay, if you switch the window here, it says the process is, it will tell you killed. Let's see if it's saved. Yeah, it didn't even saved anything. So let's see here, VI. What is it saying? Found a swap file. So there is a file still there. Kill 3037. And let's see, grep and 3083. So whatever you were doing here is killed here. So let's see here if that vi command is there. So that vi, the whatever Zafar 1 was doing, it's all done. Okay, so this is this command you kind of have to learn on the job on your own. So what it does, it will what happens is sometimes let's see here. Let me do lsof of plus L1. So what happens is sometimes the application team goes in there and deletes a bunch of files. But the size of the disk is still not reclaimed. So if I have like a 5 gig of hard drive and I deleted a 4 gig of data, to save more files in there, it says, oh, okay, still has the same files in there. What you have to do is you have to use this command lsof-l plus. It will tell you how many files are deleted. lsof is list open files. That's what it is. This deleted file is there but still stuck in the memory, then you do lsof and then you grep for deleted files. Let's see if you could grep for deleted files. Yeah, there is no deleted files because our system is pretty clean and we are not heavily using anything like that. So some of the commands are going to be harder to demonstrate here. So flush out, you could do swap off, swap on, and you will flush out the swap memory. So this is a free command. So vmstat, it will give you the, let's see what it does. So vmstat, it gives you the memory status here. Okay, so this much is free, this is much is cached, and it's like a little deeper information there. So now it says get the list of processes running here. Let's see if this is going to work for us. So what you have to do is you kind of have to, look into this and see how you may have to just based on this, you may just have to modify a file. No. So I'm not worried about this, but use this troubleshooting stuff I'm showing you as a resource here. You could go in there and then see here. The important thing is I'm going to put about today after this class, I'll put in here about 60 questions here, interview questions. Oh, I think I already put in. No. So what I'll do is I'll change these files and put in about 60 to 70 questions here, and you start memorizing those questions. And those are all you need for you to be successful in the interview. Then hopefully tomorrow I will start not the VMware. Probably we'll try to start AWS tomorrow. Okay. And I'm going to put in the registration for the new class here because I'm going to start new batch in October. And I put it in the chat here. So if somebody is interested in this, just give this link to people who are really serious about this. Okay, because this is a 6-month commitment, and I highly encourage give it to somebody who is struggling and who are going to be try to make some change, but they have to be committed for 6 months. Okay, because what I'm doing here is I'm not doing a boot camp or this or that. You could learn Linux within like 6 weeks or 7 weeks. No, I mean just for here. I mean we're still in Linux environment here, so it took nearly 5. When did we start? April, right? May, June, July. So we did a full 4 months already. So we're gonna go another 6 weeks for sure for AWS and VMware. So just for Linux part, we are into it for almost 12 weeks. I think I am over 15 minutes here. So whoever want to get this done, I could take 2 people. I think Mazhar is ready, and one more side chat me, and then we'll take care of this today for 2 people. Any questions? Okay. So if no questions, then I'm gonna stop now and then upload the recording later. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, Zafar bhai, thank you.